Welcome back, everybody, to round number two of our last weekly from the 25th of April.
No,
We're
the 23rd actually.
23rd, oops. I'm here joined by date corrector Nimi,
What's up, guys? Hello, it's me, Nemi.
and I myself, I am Girion, and together with
Big
Anna,
G.
we are Animated Dead. And we're very
Animate
excited.
bread.
Animated Bread, god damn it.
Everything is falling apart.
Everything is falling apart, just like Animated Bread. Um, On our left side, we have Cameron on Naya Monsters, and our right side, we have Willy of Willy Wills Wissen, the Magic Tournament,
Legendary tournament
Legendary
organizer.
Tournament. On his own to Esper Ketrafrog.
Yeah,
Um,
he's been kind of rocking this list for a while. He hasn't been. Both of these players haven't been in our scene for too long. I don't know how long Willy has been in Highlander or Cameron, but at least in Berlin, Willy been here for like maybe half, 3/4 of a year,
yeah, I think he's been
something
he's
like that.
been doing Highlander a bunch. That's just been
Yeah.
new to the Berlin scene. Cameron himself has been both new to Germany and new to Highlander. And they,
Tight roll off here,
they,
by the
they
way.
it is a tight roll-off. We got there in the end, but beautiful.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is, Willy has kind of moved into this Esper direction more and more. In the beginning, he was playing stuff like, I was on like Selesnya Maverick
Hmm.
and on Mono Black Control, but then he was on that Mono Black Control list for a while, and then you kept seeing him post like, "Hey, does somebody have, Psychic Frog foil? Does somebody have Ponder foil? I need to foil out this Esper deck." So he's been putting a lot of love into that one. The name, of course, a combination of the card Ketramos and Psychic Frog, which work really nicely together.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, we have Cameron, who's on Naya Monsters. Cammy, the Knight of Camelot. Um, what can you tell me about this monsters list, Gillian?
So, Naya Monsters are a classic deck. You want to punch your opponent in the mouth. And you do that by playing big creatures that have high power. Um, and you want to bring them out quite quickly, in the best case, with the Mana Dork.
Hmm.
And so I'm not exactly sure about Cameron's list per se, um, but I think he plays a bunch of a bit more rounded creatures, so creatures that generate some value as you play them. Um, so
Yeah,
think
he's less on the if I don't kill you by turn 5, I've lost, and more. He has a bit of grind value in there. He has
exactly.
like the big Bloodbraid Elf, whatever that one's called.
Yeah, I also don't know.
Um,
But think Lelia, think all of the new cards that basically, as you attack and do stuff, you get to exile cards, and then play them. I think that that is something that his
yeah.
deck, or his version of Naya Monsters revolves around a lot, like having like a weird Naya junt, if you will.
It is kind of Naya, John, isn't it? I mean, I can get behind that
It's
for
it's
sure.
it's lacking on the destruction as opposed to junt. Like it doesn't have the thought seizes. It doesn't have the fatal
Yeah.
pushes, but it does have the swords to plowshares, and it does
And
have
it has the red and six.
exactly.
Probably one of my favorite cards to slam on turn 2 when I've got a fetch land in the bin. This one, great planeswalker, very efficient, able to deal with any small creatures that come up the board, but more importantly, just providing card advantage every turn.
Yeah,
It basically lets you draw a land every turn, and if that's a fetch land, then you're able to get all those surveils as much as you want. Fetch onto basics if that's what you need in a matchup where there's maybe threatening a Blood Moon or something like that.
and
But on the other side,
it puts a huge threat on the board. It puts a huge kind of clock on Willy that isn't
yeah,
dependent on the life total because if that if that creature if that Ren 6 does emblem, that's really tough to beat in a grindy matchup.
I do think like I agree with you. Ren and 6 emblem is very powerful, which to be clear lets you, I think, cast all instant and sorceries from your graveyard by discarding a land
Hmm.
in addition to paying their
I
costs.
think it's not just instants and
Willy's deck
sorceries.
probably one that can go against that
Yeah.
because um, I think that
Oh,
Swords to
that's
Plowshares or
disgusting. Sorry,
something.
did you see? Do you see what's going on right now?
Oh yeah, we have a Wasteland in Ren and 6.
That's tough.
So this Stoneforge entered play for Willy turn 2, got to fetch out this Cryptic Code, but I'm not sure that Cryptic Code is getting played at all this match because that Wasteland able to keep him on essentially 1 to 2 mana for the foreseeable future here until Cameron decides to develop something else, cast a 3 dropper or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, um, I'm not sure what alternatives are there in a video stick. But for sure, this Stonefitch Mystic's job was to find something that puts something on the board that can threaten the Vren 6. Um, but it is so difficult to get through that with this Wasteland lock. Willie puts
Oh
in
right,
to
but
play.
he gets to Stoneforge in the Cryptic Code. I keep forgetting that text on Stoneforge because I never get stuff like Cauldron with it.
Right. Yeah, you see Stoneforge as a toolbox card, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not playing it for the high roll of oh I put Cauldron and I win the game, haha. But
And remember
this is
Batterskull?
getting
Remember
pre-war formal where
Batterskull?
I remember
I remember.
I remember. Yeah, this Wasteland definitely keeping Willy on low resources in terms of ability to play spells, but the
Hmm.
board right now is actually Willy's with
Yeah.
4 damage in play here with the Stoneforge and the Cryptic Code.
Also attacking Cameron as opposed to Renin
Yeah,
6. One thing that is nice about Willy Stick is it is able to operate on a very low mana count. It's a pretty light list. Um,
yeah. I guess white isn't the color you necessarily want for that though. Like it does unlock your Swords to Plowshares or something, but
mm,
I'm pretty sure you would rather have blue be the one land that you
yeah,
have for all
yeah,
those ponderings, brainstorms,
yeah,
what have you.
yeah. I mean,
We do get
basically,
Ren at 7 now.
like, yes, he can operate on a low mana count, but he cannot operate on a low mana color count, and that's really tough. That he
Yeah.
cannot play any non-basics anymore because they will just leave the battlefield immediately again. We see Lelia from Cameron's side, which is now the counter clock basically. Um, and like, look at the hand of Cameron. Cameron has like a bunch of stuff in the field already that is very threatening to Willy, and has 3 lands in play and
I
a full
actually
keep.
think it's kind of interesting how he has been playing this because I think personally I probably would have probably taken a turn off from Wastelanding here to play a 3 drop like a lot earlier than he
Yeah,
did. I think
yeah,
he basically passed 2 turns, didn't use his mana and just decided to Wasteland. Um,
yeah.
so that's kind of like a I don't know anti-tempo, but it's weird. It's weird. I feel like finding the spot where you push the advantage is always kind of the difficult line to ride,
Mm-hmm.
and um, as we've seen like tempo decks morph more into mid-range decks as well.
Mm-hmm.
This like tempo question of uh, yes, this wasteland is gaining me a resource advantage, but I also need tempo to actually close this out. Maybe happy to rely on the Ren and 6 threat there, but yeah, really having to discard to hand size now, and
Yeah.
Oculus hits the bin there. That would have been able to get hard cast in another like 5 turns of discarding, but he doesn't have the mana for that. So
Oh, that's really tough. Um, Finding a land here off the Lelia, which doesn't need to be played because there are so many lands that Cameron can find from his
yeah,
graveyard. Like the Sunbaked Champion that he can just, crack to draw cards and then bring them back again with Friend 6. Kasali
classic
Bridemaid,
post-combat Kasali.
the post-combat Kasali, which also can be used now to kill that Cryptic Code. Um,
Hmm.
Really tough spot for Billy.
Indeed. Yeah, unfortunately the life totals are a bit difficult to see.
Yeah,
As in I can't tell at all what they are. I think
yeah, me neither.
Cameron is on 8, but the glare a bit rough there.
Mhm.
Definitely looks like just board position wise. It's one land to 4, it's 3 creatures to 2. There's a planeswalker on Cam's side.
Willy is
Um,
for sure try to play this so that he is in a really bad position, both like board state and like mana wise, but maybe he
hmm,
can win this off of hitting with this unblockable 3/2,
yeah,
um, which I think he's getting close to. But
is
no,
actually yeah, it's not that far off.
but we can just see that like Cameron has all the cards that he needs in order to like even with the Casada now, that plan is basically
Oh
shut
my
off.
god. Drew a land and it wasn't Arid Mesa, so he got another planes because that's something that can't get destroyed. Oh, that's painful. Painful even.
He's feeling very painful. And there is the
Okay,
Kasali
he's
Pride
gonna
Mage.
Kasali Pride Mage to destroy the Cryptic Code
Well, he
there.
does get to keep
Nice.
the 2/2 that has Ward 1? Ward 2?
Ward 2.
Wow.
No
Oh,
foreshadowing there. Pre-war formal wear. Wow, on the Oculus. Oh
that's
goddamn.
actually super hot.
Scary moment now for Cam. So this Oculus, stupid card, big old eye.
And it,
It's a flying 5/5, and it makes a 2/2 on your
that's
opponent's
really
upkeep.
scary because, I mean, the Lelia is at 5/2, it's going to be 6, so you can attack for 6, but it can be
Hmm.
just jumped with the cloaked creature. And so, like, basically, unless Cameron finds another threat, Willy will always have a blocker, a jump blocker.
Drawing with the Sunbaked Canyon there.
Okay,
Rough position.
this is super tight.
Yeah, so
The
suddenly became very scary. I
it's
think
been
in the
yes.
spot like this, it's also such a mental spot because you have this thought of like, well, I'm winning the game, but okay, that's an AT that could punch through the defense.
Also,
Yeah,
Lelia gets 2+1/+1 counters, right?
yeah, exactly.
And I wish I could see the life totals because
Well, I
also
can tell you, Villy's also rather. He's not probably dying this turn, I think, but he's close to it.
because wait, the pre-war formal gear also gives +2/+2, right?
Yeah, that's a flying
So
seven.
so that's a
Seven.
flying 7/7, and so Vili now is getting attacked by a 7/7 that has trample.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not sure. Yeah, he is jumping, and so I guess he has enough life to survive that, and also survive Ren 6 minus because that's also one damage that could
Yep.
be a shot.
I was thinking about that. Yeah. Ah, that was a recruiter. Wow, nice.
Well, but the thing is, like, that's great, that's cool. But Cameron also, like, if he is actually on 8, um, he will get hit by flying 7/7.
He looks dead on the crackback here. Yeah. What does he have in hand? Caves of Chaos Adventure.
Yeah,
Did play that Miglos, but yeah, nothing in the way of flying blockers, and no mana open either.
this is
How is he
super
gonna
tight.
shimmy out of this, or does he just take? Okay, he goes for a Ren 6 pink face. Does he just take 7 and live on 1 life here?
Yeah, I mean that's my guess. Oh, we found a black source. And Cameron visibly angry about that. No,
I think I think that was a friendly fist bump.
no, I know, I know, I know. I think
Yeah.
that was a jest, but I think that's so funny. Like, oh no, my opponent gets to play Magic. I hate when my opponent plays Magic.
Well, you very much relate to that sentiment, I
I
think.
do.
I guess is it too much of a spoiler to say that we'll be seeing you in the future match as well later in this
Oh, I'm dreading
beautiful
that.
weekly that we had.
I'm dreading that. I that was really yeah. Okay.
But Willy scoops it up now.
Mm,
Okay. I guess must have been in a position where if he attacked, he puts Cam to 1,
yeah.
but then Cam has the Lelia, or not the Lelia, but just giving trample with this Inti plus the ping from Renin 6 being enough. I didn't exactly get to see what the lethal presentation there looked like, but
Mhm.
wow. uh, you gotta feel happy as Cam that you clutched that one out, but also kind of sweating because that looked
Yeah,
like your game to lose for about 10 turns, and then you
yeah,
did almost lose it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was an interesting moment in the end here, where Cameron was like, "Well, this was easy GG because of Fran 6 into Lelia," but I don't think this was an easy GG. I think,
Yeah. I mean, Willy was on like one land for like 5 turns,
yeah,
but had the tenacity to keep going. And I mean, I have to say, luckily, also being able to find that Stoneforge and the uh, what is it, cryptic code,
yeah. I think
to be able to put on pressure that even made that a close match.
I gotta say the discard to hand size on the Oculus into put in pre-war
That was
formal gear is
that was pretty
so
sweet.
funny. Like certainly some lucky draws here for Willy to even be in this game. Um, but well, we got to see very interesting match for that.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, so what is Willy looking for in uh, game number 2 here?
I do think that Willy is the like not the beatdown, right? He is the
Mm,
controlling deck. He is trying to outvalue Naya monsters
yeah.
or outtempo it. So it's one of the two. And that's a really interesting line to or line to tread because you only from the things you see from your opponents, you get to understand what it is it that I'm trying to look for in this particular game. You cannot say that from the start. You cannot say that, well, Billy's deck is trying to do this, Cameron's deck is trying to do that. It's really how the hands fold is going to tell us what each game plan is going to be in this particular game. Because Ketrafrog has some tools to really, as we've seen with the unblockable 3/2 that has War 2, that's such a powerful card too. If you can just protect that and prevent your opponent from developing anything that is um, like a threat to yourself, you can just get
Mm.
through there and win with that. But you can also have Ketchamos just outgrind your opponents so hard.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see that card. It's definitely showed up big in some other formats, right? And
Yeah,
Canlander and Eurolander, it's like made a bit of a splash, but definitely not as much as it has in 60 card constructed. It
yeah,
seems just like a sweet combo if you get to play that one with just any card like Felia or Psychic Frog
yeah.
or I don't know, like a Murktide and exiled 6 cards as I play it.
I wonder if there is a possibility of like a Mardu Ketra most kind of shell.
Oh,
Thinking of all the, as you said, right, the Lelia, the cards that exile for yourself.
yep.
Ketranos is an interesting card because we do have a bunch of cards that just exile stuff randomly, and so I feel like you can just slot it into many decks. Um, but people usually are like when they're on mid-range shells, they're usually on the Junt. They're usually on um,
Well, as they should be. Well, maybe not. You know, I gotta defend my territory as well.
That's fair. But it's the you don't that often see the Esper. I think we've seen even some Sultai here and there. We've seen for sure some 4 color, 5 color lists, but like,
That's true, yeah. Esper, not the most popular color combination by any stretch of imagination, although I think within the recent year of printings, like the Esper stonks have risen. I
mhm,
mean, Esper, you get still the best removal with
yeah,
swords. You
yeah,
have the best, historically best color in blue with card draw. You have black, which, as we've seen in the recent tournament, has been just a massively successful color recently. And then you get all the bullshit that they printed in this last like Modern Horizon set in white, like Ocelot Pride,
yeah,
Ajani.
yeah.
You get Oculus. You can do stuff like Primor from Aware my Oculus after I discard it to hand size. Like, well, you
I
know.
also, sorry, I do want to say on the topic again of new cards, and I mean we've been talking about the surveillance for a bit now, but I just
Yeah.
it's such a chill kind of moment where both like it's like we've talked about the value and how good they are and how they have impacted the game, but I think it's also just such a nice, relaxed moment of each player is like turn 1, board development, not for us. We're going to
Mellow, it's a mellow start, you
exactly.
know.
We're gonna check out what we got going on here. Look at our top card.
Yeah. Gonna play my Temple of Malady, except it's
Exactly.
benchable.
I think that's
Let's
really
go.
nice.
Yeah. I do think like it's really interesting how you have this pull in multiple directions of the format, where on the one hand it's become faster, right? Because
Hmm.
threats get more efficient, but at the same time there's also so much more value to be had
Hmm.
that it's like being stretched in the middle, like one of those, I don't know, anime characters who's being pulled from two sides, you know,
Okay, yeah.
of like you really want to be fast because you have to be fast and efficient, otherwise you're gonna get run over by a deck like Oops All Spells, which
Hmm.
kills you on turn two.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you know, you have these like ruin your evening stuff going on where every turn they gain 10 life and draw 5 cards, and like you also have to try and be in that direction of stuff, and like
Yeah.
you know you pick kind of one that your deck leans more towards, but you kind of can't ignore the other one completely, and
Yeah,
the
there you
the
go.
surveillance are
I was gonna say,
just kind
sorry,
of the
to
perfect sweet spot that every deck can invest in.
the game. I think this was an interesting moment because it was clear
Mm,
to everyone involved that Willy had interaction, and Cameron was
that's true,
looking at
yeah.
his hand, being like, "Okay, well, Cameron has interaction. What do I do now?" He did play Fanatic of Theranos into it,
Yeah.
um, and I wonder if he could have, if it would have been better to just pass or not. Um, but I don't. I think that's not the winning play.
I don't think so. Like, you gotta make them use it as well. Like, if you're passing without playing, then it's as if they cast the counter spell without even having to
Yeah.
expend the card, you know? You try and have it be on something that is not very, that you're okay with getting countered, and like
Yeah.
this exchange of Fanatic of Ronas for Spell Snare, you know, mana negative, but really didn't get to spend the other mana, so
Yeah.
I think you just have to kind of grit your teeth and accept that one. But now this has gone from bad to worse very quickly, and that
Also,
was an illegal play,
I was
I
gonna
think.
say, ay, ay, ay.
Does have Ward 2, the creature that is face down with the Cryptic Code.
Where's Anna when we need it? Ooh,
Oh, we
Grieve?
got Grief exiling Ketravos. And now we get to look at a hand of there is the big Bloodbraid Elf, Path to Exile, and a Seasoned Dungeoneer, but not enough mana to cast either of them,
Oh,
and an Oculus to follow up. Wow,
disgusting.
brutal turn for from Cameron's
Yeah.
perspective, but Willy just massively advantaged now, has this giant threat on the board, and all Cam can do is yeah put a Hex Drinker and play Tick It Up twice.
I guess technically this isn't an illegal play. I guess it's a missed trigger on
It is a
Phillies.
mistrigger, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
okay.
right.
And I guess he was like, ah, whatever, I'm gonna kill you anyway. Oh,
Oh my god!
so what does this card do?
So Kaito, this is a Planeswalker, but it has Planeswalker ninjutsu. You can return an unblocked creature to put in a 3/4 Kaito that smacks your opponent and is able to activate loyalty stuff after combat. The +1, I don't think anybody has ever activated.
Oh, that's not true.
I guess sometimes, but like you care about the other two modes, which are Surveil 2, then draw a card, and -2 to tap a creature and put 2 stun counters on it. If you're really worried about this dying to damage, you can take it up, but
I
for the
mean,
most
Willy
part,
ticked it up
great
against
value
me.
engine.
Willy ticked it up against me a bunch in order to kill me quicker when I was on
I
Prism.
guess it does buff itself, the
Yeah,
own Kaito, but
yeah.
let me tell you, not a lot of ninjas in Willy's deck. We do have the initiative being introduced now, and this is like one of those spots where you kind of wish this was just a different 4-drop and not the initiative, because you know that Willy's taking this for free with a flying creature, and
Uh,
happily keeping it as well after that. I mean, the Dungeoneer is able to attack past, give itself unblockable, but also wants to attack this Kaito kind of. So just yeah, rough spot for Cameron.
hmm I mean, what are you supposed to do? Not play your 4-drop?
No, yeah, you gotta, but
It
I
doesn't look
mean,
great.
you can grimace while you do it. Kaito not getting in there would just get blocked.
Hmm.
We do also have this cryptic coat that can get picked up again or re-equipped. And this board position already favors Willy, even though he hasn't used any of his mana this turn yet. So Cameron probably just hoping that Willy is on 5 lands in hand and
Hmm.
no gas, and that
Hmm.
he gets to rip.
I guess he could, in this context, Willy could have ticked up Kaito in order to attack with it. But why?
True.
Like, I think it's definitely more favorable to continue develop his hand while his board state is already advantageous.
Yeah, definitely. And Esper, having both white and black, very good at removing things. And you could also just cast your own Dungeoneer. So Gillion, I guess it's time for you to learn what the initiative actually does,
What
right?
does the initiative do? Oh my god, okay, sorry.
So
Next, I don't know what this initiative token is, but next time I will bring a Japanese initiative token, just so that everybody cannot understand what the initiative does.
you're truly an evil man. So the initiative, you only get it once per turn, or you're supposed to.
Hmm.
I think I haven't animated that as well. We can't even catch up with everything that's
Dude, it
happening,
doesn't matter.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Cameron can scoop up any moment now, so do walk us through the initiative.
Yeah, so the initiative, with the basic idea of no, sorry, we have to suspend for this Bloodbraid Challenger. That's what
Oh
I
my
don't
god,
understand.
into
Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
the fable.
But while
Like,
we can't see the life totals,
it's
that's off screen. It's still, it's just too much.
it's
Too much, too
beautiful,
far behind.
beautiful thing to see Bloodbraid Challenger into Fable of the Mirror Breaker in a
Oh
vacuum.
yeah, warms your
Pretty
heart.
incredible, but still in this moment it's just like, what you gonna do?
This is, one of the grind cards that could also get you over the top against a deck like Esper,
Yeah.
which is gonna hold up that counterspell for the Bloodbraid Challenger itself, maybe, but you can't
Mm.
stop it from cascading. That's a cast trigger, and so
Yeah, see,
a good tool in and of itself against this matchup.
that's the really interesting thing about Cameron's deck list here, right? We haven't really seen any mana dork starts. We can, as we scroll through his deck, we see that they do exist. Um,
Mm.
but I mean, I guess he played the Fanatic of Ronos, and got countered. Um,
Yeah.
but it is a deck list that does seem to favor grindy cards over really explosive threatening cards.
Yeah. He's not trying to get the kill in with like a price of progress on turn 4.
Yeah.
A bit more of a value version. But yeah, in this brief moment of respite that we have, I
Yes.
was gonna say about the initiative. Normally, you just get it once per turn. Either you have it when you go to your upkeep, then you get to trigger it, or if you don't have it, if your opponent has it, you can hit them with combat damage. That's how you steal it. But if you already have it active, you get it in your upkeep, and then if you play an initiative creature, or you flicker one for some reason, you get to go through the initiative again. So really just accelerating the demise of Cameron there.
Quite quickly.
Uh, yes.
Especially because one of the rooms says target player loses 5 life.
Oh, that you know.
I
That's the part that
mean,
affects you.
that's how I got killed on Saturday, so.
Yeah, so the normal path that you go down is you find a land, that's always where you start, find a basic land. Then you put 2 counters on a creature,
Mhm.
2+1
Mhm.
counters, then you trap, deal 5 damage, then you get to draw a card, and then just because the initiative wasn't good enough, the last room before you finish with it is you reveal the top 10 cards of your library, you take any creature from there, you put it into play for free, it gets 3+1/+1 counters, and it gets hexproof for a turn.
It gets hexproof
And
for a turn.
if that doesn't win you the game, I don't know what will.
And then you have to shuffle your library.
You do have to shuffle your library.
Um,
And then
what
on
are
the
we
next
doing?
turn, you get to go
We're
into the
looking at a
initiative
mulligan,
again.
okay. Oh, I see.
Also,
He showed the. Sorry, this is an interesting thing to discuss because it's the Verge, and the Verge. I
oh,
think the Verge doesn't produce the one
you
that he
got
showed.
Verge cocked?
It doesn't produce blue from the start. And so he
No,
had,
yeah, all the blue decks are rather sad, I think, with the verges they got.
yeah,
The blue-red
um,
one makes red first, and
because I think he had a bunch of cantrips, a
blue-black
bunch
one
of
makes
blue
black
cantrips,
first.
and then he didn't have a blue source because the Verge actually isn't a blue source if it stands alone. And I think you once talked about how the Verges are kind of like better fast lands, but in this context, of course, a fast land
But
would
sorry,
have
I
been
just
better.
to interrupt you. Both players struggling severely with shuffling their deck. Are they both goofy as well? Interesting. Looks like we have two left-handed shufflers over
Oh, are
here.
they both left-handed?
Well, just
Or just
something,
shufflers?
maybe
I, I like
maybe
I like
left-handed shufflers.
I like the skating terminology in the context of shuffling.
Yeah, sorry.
They're goofies or regulars.
Yeah. All right. Cameron
Okay.
on the play again, hoping for, as we were talking about previously, a mana dork.
Sorry, I
Um,
love the hand reveal that is just not not helpful at all.
I have to say, the hand reveal, we gotta coordinate with the people there to see if we can figure out, like, maybe we can just lay him on the table and, like, other person closes their eyes or something. But I suspect the more spiky gamers would not be in
Yeah.
favor of that.
Yeah.
Probably, Benjamin and Johnny don't want to risk their opponents peeking at the cards or something like that. So maybe we'll just live without
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
the starting
We see
hands.
their hands a little bit at times,
We see
and
the cards as they play them.
also that is when we need to know them.
And
Hey, guess what
the
we're doing turn
third game
one?
that Cameron has started with Commercial District turn one, specifically. Another lightning fast hand show there.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you a single card from there. Also wish they had scooched the live tracker a bit
Ah,
further to the top, but so it goes.
it goes. I think we're on 19 to 20 right now, and we'll just try to keep track of it.
Well, no, Cam is fiddling with the dice there. It looks like they're both on one, actually.
You're probably right. That was a fast block.
That's a ponder, okay.
Pretty ponder.
So Cameron didn't get to play that turn one mana dork that we have been looking for 3 matches basically
Hmm.
now.
He does.
Willy on the other
I see a
hand
flame
gets to
slash.
develop.
I
I
see a
see Flame
wasteland,
Slash, yeah. Okay.
and I see
Flame
wasteland
Slash,
against the basic
wasteland.
island.
Is that a Razor Verge Thicket?
This one I
Not
can't
quite
make
sure.
out. Okay, important question to you, Nemi.
Hmm.
Where do you stand
Yeah.
on the funny cloud ponder?
The funny cloud
Like the
ponder?
OG ponder?
Oh,
The
the
Merfolk
the
cloud.
sorry, you mean the fish versus the moon ponder?
Yes.
Um, Personally, I think the moon ponder is way more aesthetic.
Okay. So you're
But I do have full respect for using the fish ponder because it is of course the original, and
gotcha.
I think in like 90% of cases will use the first and original artwork.
Yeah.
There's some exceptions, like the Mercadian Masks Brainstorm. That one is just the best.
That is also correct.
We
Wait,
got
brainstorm?
another
No, 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 no. Okay,
Stoneforge
okay. I think
Cryptic.
I am a big fan of the Ice Age brainstorm, which is
You like
maybe
the guy just looking like, I don't know,
no, wait, no, no, no,
he
wait, wait,
bit
wait, wait.
off a chunk of
Maybe
ice
I
cream
am
or
thinking.
something.
I am thinking.
His
Okay.
brain is bursting with lightning.
No, I am thinking of Acadian masks. You're right. It's the pretty like
Oh,
the
with
pretty.
like a ring of dots
Yeah,
around.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one.
Uh, no, I like the fish cloud ponder a lot because it's so abstract and surreal. It's not quite come in your face ponder.
The zero visions.
Sorry, zero
See,
visions.
see, see something visions. Carry on, stop distracting from the game. We've got
So
Magic the
I
Gathering
think
happening.
interesting enough. Oh my God. Oh,
Oh my god! What?
white border
Flame
mental
slash your
misstep.
Stoneforge, mental misstep, your flame slash mental misstep, your mental misstep.
Disgusting.
I don't
Disgusting.
even know that I would have misstepped back. Like, do you care about the Stoneforge that much?
I'm sorry, there was a mental misstep back from Cameron's side. I didn't see that.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Oh,
sorry.
that's
So
hilarious.
flame slash got mental misstep, but then Cam mental misstepped the mental misstep.
That's hilarious.
And I'm thinking like,
Do you care this
fine,
much?
have your Stoneforge. Like, I wish I had a, I wish I had a piece of removal now for this abhorrent Oculus. God,
Yeah.
has that Oculus turned up in every single game?
Uh-huh.
I think so.
And
And
also
this cryptic code is also trying to.
big boo from
Uh,
Cameron. Oh, okay, Willy, chill.
Witch Enchanter taking out that Smuggler's Copter.
Oh,
Wow.
this
Willy just
enchanter.
has all the answers right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Cameron. Yeah,
Not the position you want to be in as the monster side. Your board should be looking like the one that Willy has right now. As the last card in hand is a Galvanic Discharge on one of the morphs.
mm,
It's hard to imagine Cam finding a way back into this one.
yeah,
He would need like a land into a Bloodbraid Challenger and both of it this turn, and he's got a
there you
Path of
go.
Exile and then the Handshake. So
In
yeah.
what happened in this game, right? Like in this game, we saw a lot of trading,
Mm,
and in the end, the lot of trading led to Cameron having an empty board onto which Willy was able to slam an abhorrent Oculus. And that's it. There you go.
yeah, I mean, we were busy talking about Ponder Art, but I think this game was kind of the uh, maybe wrong hand for the matchup
Yeah,
issue
I
for
agree.
Cameron. Like, I think if you keep a hand of, obviously, he had already been mulling, so maybe
Yeah,
felt like this is my best bet.
yeah,
But another hand without a mana dork, without like an early threat like a Lelia to power out, without
yeah.
just some sticky board threat that is going to be able to put the pressure on, but instead very reactive with the
Flame
Flame
Slash,
Slash, the
Galvanic
Mental
Discharge,
Misstep, Galvanic Discharge, Path to Exile that he drew there as
and
well. Like,
Mystical
didn't have that one,
Metal
but
Misstep.
yeah, maybe something that you might keep against another aggressive deck
Yeah,
where you in this Naya monsters list kind of put yourself in the control spot there as your opponent is the beatdown, but just not fast enough
yeah.
and not putting enough pressure on against a deck that can play a turn 3 Oculus or whatever it was.
So what did we learn? Mulligan more. Mulligan more. Because I think even like I think there are hands of 5 cards that because I think Willy also mulliganed. Um, I
Yep.
think there are hands of 5 cards that would beat this hand of 6 cards. That
I agree.
that could have been coming out there. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. This
Yeah.
was match 2 of 3,
Yeah.
and I'd love to see you all again in our next video, where we will see me on Prison
Wow.
against Micha
Awesome.
on Red Deck Wins. So I'll catch you all next time.
See you there. GG's to both players.